The scorching sun blazed down on the Giza Plateau as thousands of laborers gathered around the rising pyramid. To the common eye, it seemed like a miracle of human endurance, endless rows of men hauling ropes, dragging stones, and chanting prayers to the gods. But hidden behind towering walls, away from ordinary workers, a different scene unfolded. There, massive machines stood like silent giants, gleaming with polished bronze and steel unknown to later ages. One such machine was a crane, unlike anything seen in our modern world. Its arms stretched skyward like the wings of a falcon, supported by gears that rotated with perfect precision. Huge counterweights balanced its movements, allowing it to lift blocks weighing dozens of tons with ease. Instead of endless ramps and backbreaking labor, these cranes hoisted stones and placed them gently, one atop another, with the grace of a craftsman placing jewels in a crown. Beside the cranes, another marvel roared with power, the great stone saw. Taller than 2 men, its blade glimmered in the sunlight, teeth sharper than obsidian. With each slow but steady motion, it sliced through granite as if it were wood. The sound echoed like thunder across the desert, filling the air with sparks and fine dust. To the engineers, it was the voice of progress. To the workers outside, who were never allowed to see it, it was the hidden hand of the gods. The pharaoh, proud of his reign, declared that the gods had granted him divine knowledge to build monuments that would last for eternity. Yet he was not the true creator of these wonders. Behind the throne, a secret guild of engineers and priests guarded the knowledge of machines. Their lives were bound by oaths of silence, for the pharaoh feared that if common people or rival kingdoms learned of this technology, it would challenge his authority. One engineer, however, began to question this secrecy. His name was Imhotep, a brilliant mind who studied both the stars and the mechanics of machines. He believed that such knowledge should not be locked away but shared to help humanity prosper. Quietly, he began sketching designs on papyrus scrolls, recording the workings of cranes, gears, and saws in careful detail. He dreamed of a future where every city might use these machines, not just for temples but to ease daily life. But Imhotep was not reckless. He knew that if the pharaoh discovered his actions, he would be punished by death. To protect his work, he built a secret chamber beneath the pyramid, a vault carved into the bedrock and hidden behind false walls. Inside, he placed his scrolls, along with miniature models of the machines, crafted in bronze and gold. He swore that even if his people forgot, one day someone would uncover the truth. For a time, the machines continued their work, raising pyramids that pierced the heavens. But no empire lasts forever. Generations passed, and with each new pharaoh, the circle of knowledge grew smaller. Wars erupted, famine struck, and foreign invaders swept across the Nile. The guild of engineers dwindled, their secrets carried to the grave. The great cranes rusted, their gears locked by time. The saws fell silent, buried in sandstorms that swallowed palaces and temples alike. By the time Greece and Rome rose to power, the machines were gone. Only myths remained. Priests told stories of gods lifting stones with invisible hands, and scribes wrote that the pyramids were built by sheer manpower. None remembered Imhotep's chamber, sealed deep within stone, where the truth lay waiting like a message to the future. Centuries turned to millennia. Travelers from distant lands came to Egypt, gazing in awe at the pyramids. Some believed giants had built them, others that demons or spirits had shaped the stones. But not a single soul guessed that once, beneath the desert sun, men had harnessed machines more advanced than anything the modern world could imagine. Thus the knowledge of the ancients was lost. The cranes, the saws, the secret blueprints all disappeared into the dust of history. Yet, as with all secrets, time could not bury them forever. For beneath the sand, hidden chambers waited, and within them, the whispers of an age when Egypt ruled not just with armies and gold, but with the power of forgotten machines. The year was 2027 when a team of archaeologists, led by Dr. Nadia El-Sayed, began excavating a little-known section of the Giza Plateau. Unlike the Grand Pyramid sites that tourists visited daily, this area was fenced off, guarded, and mostly ignored. But radar scans had shown something unusual beneath the sand, a massive hollow chamber, deeper than any known burial chamber. For weeks they dug, carefully brushing away layers of stone and dust, until at last, a passageway emerged. The air inside was stale, untouched for millennia. Torches flickered as the team descended, the silence broken only by the echo of their footsteps. What they found stopped them in their tracks: walls carved with strange diagrams that looked more like engineering blueprints than hieroglyphs. At the center of the chamber lay a broken structure, metallic fragments scattered like the bones of some ancient beast. The pieces did not belong to any chisel or hammer. They were curved, ridged, and fitted with grooves, as though they had once formed part of a great gear or pulley. Dr. Nadia's assistant, a mechanical engineer, gasped. "These aren't tools," he whispered. "They're machine parts." News of the discovery was initially kept quiet. The Egyptian government feared looting and unauthorized digs. But word spread quickly through academic circles. Some scholars dismissed the find as misinterpretation, claiming the fragments were ritual objects. Others insisted it was evidence of a lost technology, something beyond the Bronze Age. As debates raged, Dr. Nadia grew obsessed. She smuggled detailed scans and photographs of the artifacts to her lab. There, using 3D modeling, her team began piecing together the shapes. Slowly, a design emerged: a massive crane with interlocking gears and counterweights. It matched almost perfectly with the diagrams carved on the chamber walls. Months later, after tireless work, they built a scaled-down prototype of the machine. To their amazement, it functioned flawlessly. With minimal effort, the crane lifted multi-ton concrete blocks as though they were toys. The team stared in awe, realizing they were witnessing the rebirth of ancient Egyptian engineering. History, as they knew it, had just been rewritten, but with revelation came danger. As soon as whispers of their experiment reached officials, government agents arrived, seizing documents and warning the team to remain silent. "This discovery threatens the foundations of history," one official said coldly. "The world is not ready to know." Refusing to surrender, Dr. Nadia and her closest colleagues formed a secret group. They took the risk of moving their research underground, away from prying eyes. Using hidden servers, they uploaded fragments of their findings online, masked by layers of encryption. But they knew it was only a matter of time before authorities caught up. The final test came when they managed to reconstruct a segment of the Great Saw, an enormous blade once used to cut stone. Powered by a counterweight system, it moved with terrifying precision, slicing through granite in minutes. Video footage of the saw in action was smuggled out and leaked onto the internet. Within hours, it went viral. The reaction was explosive. Around the globe, people questioned everything they had been taught about the pyramids. Historians fought back, dismissing the footage as fake. Governments issued denials. But the evidence was too strong to ignore. The world had been shown a glimpse of humanity's forgotten past. Dr. Nadia stood one night at the edge of the desert, the pyramids looming like silent guardians under the moonlight. She knew they had only uncovered a fragment of the truth. Radar scans showed that beneath the sands lay more chambers, untouched for thousands of years. If they could reach them, they might find not just fragments, but entire machines that could rewrite not only history, but the future of human technology. The desert wind howled softly as she whispered to herself, "This is only the beginning."